Hi there, welcome to the terrace, and I'd like to talk to women today because this is all about women and how we can get free of this dreadful, disgusting habits and attitudes and worldly ways that we live in. And I've brought all this into my marriage, and I've been fighting my husband constantly. And the subject is patriotism versus feminism. And the patriarchism of men in the world, I've found and thought, and in my mind, has been a dominant, arrogant, abusive attitude where the feminism is to be who you are and try and become equal. Well, this is a worldly mindset, to be empowered as a woman, to be something, to do something, to make a stand, to fight for your rights. Well, sisters, I'd just like to tell you, this is all wrong. Last night I saw a video about a debate, a guy talking about patriotism, and the debate was with the woman bringing her fight, her argument about feminism. And they spoke for 3 hours. I watched this, and my husband said, look, sit down and watch this. It's very interesting. And I thought, what's going to happen? And as we went through, I could see unfolding the most ridiculous argument that feminists have towards the patriarch system in the world. Men are in authority, and women are constantly wanting to cut that down, to break that down. This is what I've been doing, to cut this down, to break down, to stop their power, their strength, their authority, their rights, and to bring in all this ridiculous, unheard of before time, where women are wanting to be equal, wanting to be the same, wanting to have the same pay, the same rights, the same standards, the same strength. A man is stronger. We are the weaker vessel, but that doesn't stop us from fighting. And this is the point. Having to fight for your equality means straight away, if you're fighting for something that you're not, you obviously haven't got it, you're not it, and it won't work. And so every time this girl started to bring an argument towards the fellow with the idea of patriotism, he respectfully explained how if you're fighting for something that isn't in existence, that doesn't work, that doesn't have the authority, well, it's ridiculous. It's a waste of time. And there am I sitting watching these videos thinking, everything I've been doing, trying to attain equality, trying to be free, trying to be equal, trying to be on top, trying to put my husband down in every area and every way in my life, abusing him in every way, and being angry and hateful and jealous because he comes up with so many good things and he can explain everything and do everything, and it all works out right for him, and I just crumble all the time. And this is Yahusha's been showing me over the years, and my camera roll back right from the beginning when we got married. I could see how much I've been fighting and how much I've lost and how I've had the strength, I don't know, to keep going, but the spirit of my flesh obviously overtaking and telling me that I have the rights to be equal, to be in this, to do the same, to have the same as what my husband has, and it's ridiculous. And something broke in me last night where I could see and I could face, this is a ridiculous fight. Women, if you're going that way, you won't win, because the economy in the world is the man is the leader. He has the authority. And if a woman has to go to men to ask and to abuse and to cut down and make wrong all the time, be trying to make them wrong and you right, and lift yourself up all the time, it's obvious who's wrong. Who's fighting when he already has that authority and nothing can take it from him? And yet women are trying to take that from men. The patriarch system in the family. The man is the head of the household. This is how it is. And the woman, she is to submit, not be a slave, to submit and to be a helpmate and to help and to encourage and to be loving and understanding. This is what I haven't been. And I just want to tell you, sisters, don't go this way, because it just ends up in bitterness. It ends up in hateful arguments. It ends up in you. I've gotten past a lot of my anger and bitterness, but there's still something there that I didn't understand, and I've been trying to explain and tell women constantly, and I didn't have this myself because I've had these worldly feminist attitudes where I think I need to be lifted up. I need to be on the same level. I want to be, because I want to be equal. I want to be the same. I want to be respected. Where does that go? I can just see through my marriage so many times where my husband has made decisions to lead, to go here and to do this and to build that. He's always had these. He's always been leading, and I would follow, but then I would kick up a fuss and think, you didn't ask me my opinion, you didn't consider me, you didn't understand my feelings, how I would feel if you went through this and you went there and you did that, and look at where I am and what I don't feel confident, I'm not this, I'm not that, and blame him for my inadequacies, for not feeling good. My problem not feeling good is because I've been fighting and putting down and going against the head of the household, going against the male patriotism. And that's in the family. And I thought, well, I had to go out to work. I had to go out to work because I needed to work because we needed money to exist. Well, if I didn't go to work, I could have been at home and being a housewife and being loving, and we've been taught that that's second rate. Where this guy said the greatest thing is to be a mother, is to be a housewife, to be a mother. It's not demeaning, and we've been led to believe it's a demeaning thing. It's not worthwhile. You've got to go out and prove yourself and be strong and achieve and make money so that you're bringing in the same, you're doing the same as the man, and that creates total disruption in the whole economy, in the whole balance, and there's no balance there. So if I hadn't have had a second income, we wouldn't have needed so much childcare, all the different things. We wouldn't have needed to have the second car, all these different things that we feel we need, the trappings. We wouldn't have needed all these other extra things if I had have been satisfied to stay at home and be a mother. In this regard, the whole world is turned upside down, and there's fighting all the time. Women wanting to be empowered and to be strong, even going to the gym and lifting weights and wanting to be physically strong where it's not possible. You see women in sports, it's not possible. You see women everywhere trying to be and have what men have. They're all playing football now and wanting to have all the same things as men. It's ridiculous. And I could see how stupid I am, how cruel I've been to my husband. And I said, oh, darling, I am so sorry. And he said, it doesn't matter, it's okay, I love you. How did you how did you love me through all that? And he said, because I just loved you and I knew that you would come through. And it's just been 47 years. Now, how long does he have to suffer and put up with my attitude, how I've been wanting to fight against what the authority that Yahusha put up. He said, women, submit yourselves to your husband as to Elohim. Do I treat my husband as I treat Yahusha? No. And that's disgusting. That's a disgusting behaviour. This is where you can judge yourselves. Women, judge yourselves on this and see that feminist woman wanting to be someone, wanting to be recognised, wanting to lift themselves up. I can see inside myself all through my marriage how we came to move to and buy a house, and my husband made the decisions, and I always complained and got into arguments about so many things involved. After he'd made decisions, I would go against it. I would go against every point, everything he wanted to do. And the poor thing is, it's amazing he's not in a frazzle, but he's come out victorious because he has his manhood and he has the right and he has his patriotism, where he knows he's the head of the household. He knows Yahusha has given him that authority. Women, have you been given that authority to dominate, to be in control? I've always wanted to control and put men down, and it's disgusting. I've done that to every man I've met in every situation, and I haven't had good relationships, and it's been the reason why. Thinking I'm better, thinking that I have the right. How disgusting. And I could see, wow, this is amazing. He showed me in this secular debate how I am to be. And I couldn't stop thinking about all the things that I've done, all the ways that I've treated my husband, how I've treated him and what I've done to him and put him down and accused him of being so wrong and so sure of himself and so arrogant, and yet he has the right. He's been just understanding and loving and waiting and waiting and waiting for me and letting me have everything. He said the other day that I am free to do whatever I want to do because he knows that he trusts Yahusha. And if I make any mistakes, or if I go into things that aren't right, it's up to me. It's my decision, and I will know. Women, are you feeling that you have rights? Because if you give them up, if you give those up and understand, if you come to Yahusha and you submit to your husband, give in to your husband, answer your husband, don't hold back from your husband, understand and encourage. A lot of the things where you don't like it, and I used to go out of the room and slam doors and not want to talk about things for days and leave horrible feelings and just have my attitudes and try and provoke and disturb and interrupt and hurt and stir up. And I can see, in this day and age, there's so much wife bashing, there's so much women bashing, and no wonder, because of no one looks at the behaviour of the women. Why do men get so riled up? Women can drive men to distraction, as well as men can drive women to distraction, but the whole point, the man is the head, the man has the patriarch authority, and women take that from them, and then they feel like they're nothing. And of course women then feel strong and wonderful, but do they? Do they enjoy that? Do we really enjoy that? It's always a total letdown, because you know what you've done. You feel ugly inside, and you know that it wasn't right, and there's no satisfaction in any victory. You don't have victories. You go through life fighting and pounding against the brick wall, and that brick wall is Yahusha's law, and until you break and stop, he won't let up. He will keep showing you constantly. I know that I've done all this to my husband and it's just a shame. It's revolting behaviour. And I've tried very hard to manoeuvre and manipulate and try and find a way to get a balance. But inside my heart, I've just had this aggression and anger and anxiety that I need to be seen. I need to be recognised for all the hard work I do and what I do and how I do it and everything. Yahusha has given you a household to look after, and it's the most wonderful thing. In everything you do, he will bless you. And this is where we can get our victories. This is where our satisfaction comes. If we submit to our husband as to Yahusha and treat them as Yahusha, how is Yahusha looking at this and seeing how we behave and what he's put in the world to give the most wonderful balance. If there's a country or a community where everyone is equal and everyone's the same and there's no leader, where do you go? Everything just crumbles. There has to be a leader. There has to be someone to say, this is the way, this is the right way. Yahusha did this. He's already done this. He's already made this happen. So in society, there's this fight all the time. There's got to be equal women in any jobs. Women are wanting equality. They're wanting to be lifted up. There's not enough women in this job. There's not enough women in that job. They're all taking on jobs and things that they're not strong enough and wanting to go to war, wanting to have the brute force of a man and get muscly and get strong and get empowered. Women, you've lost your femininity altogether. You've lost. The feminine movement has stripped you of being a real woman. The feminine movement makes you aggressive towards men. And this is how I've been. The feminine movement and all those movements where you think you need to go in society, you have the rights of anything. You can do anything you want, but if you go there, you can see that it doesn't work. You're not satisfied, you're not happy, you're not successful, you're not free in your heart. And look at the freedom Yahusha gives you if you submit to your husband as to Yahusha, if you give in, if you love and show that and you appreciate the job that they're doing, the job that the man in your life is doing. His responsibility is much greater than yours. You only have to be in that as a woman, submitting, going along and understanding and being loving, encouraging. How a woman was created, what we were created for. And this was the whole argument. This is the whole argument going on in the world, the breakdown of the family unit. Society will start to fall apart and crumble. And is this what's happening in the world, in our society today? Apart from Yahusha's bride, women in Yahusha should know better. I should know better. And I'm telling you, women, this is the way. You don't have to fight your husband to be equal. In Yahusha, you can become equal, but you have different roles. He is the head of the household, and you are his wife, his helpmate and encourager, the lover, the understanding, and have compassion and be free of all that aggression and wanting to be on top. And this is the fight, the battle. The family unit was made by Yahusha, a husband and a wife, to procreate and have children and bring a family up. And if the woman was in the home, how much better would it be They wouldn't be out there causing trouble, having the gossip sessions and meeting up for coffees and having these women's meetings and women's gatherings. I started to get into that, going to a women's tennis group, and then they all went and wanted to have coffees together and then have luncheons together. And it was disgusting. All they talk about was their cry out, their arguments, their problems, their worries, their bitchiness towards men. And this was hideous, so I cut it out. That's not the way we're to go. We're not to be involved in all this, and it's the way of the world. Women want so much in this world. Can you see where it's gone? You can take a stand. You can take a stand and be that example. You will know them by their love one for another. Now, husbands and wives, you might be able to behave yourselves when you're out in company and you go out and you're mixing with people. But when you come home and you're at home, how is the behaviour? How is the relationship? Is it one-sided? Is it constantly trying to top each other off, trying to get the better of each other? This is what I've been doing. And it's disgusting. I just want to tell you. I've made lots of videos, and they haven't been in the right vein because I've had this battle inside me. I've had this fight, and I want to break that and not behave like that anymore. I've acted disgustingly, dreadfully, hateful and cruel, trying to cut my husband's manhood down. And that in that way, I have never had a victory in doing that. I have felt guilty. I have felt upset. I've felt dead. I've lost all hope of happiness. And I tell you, sisters, please hear to this, because this is your way out. Give in to your husbands. Give in to your parents and your loved ones, and understand them. Love them as a woman can only do, and have compassion, understanding, encouragement, and helpful. And you will find the love will come onto you more than you've ever experienced. The acceptance, you'll be accepted, you'll be respected, because you are being in the right role as a woman. They're just roles that you play. You can be equal, because Yahusha said there's no male or female, Greek or Jew. We are all equal in him, but we have to become that equality by acknowledging our roles in our lives. Knowing, don't over talk, don't butt in, don't want to have your say. All this in your home, behind closed doors. This is the privacy where Yahusha, inside yourself, you know the thoughts that you get. You know spirits and demons are all male, and they want you to act like a male. They want you to be arrogant, rude, brutish, dominant. They're all men. That spirit in your flesh, it's male, it's a man, and it wants you to be like they are. Cruel. That spirit, wicked spirits in high places, wants you to have that brute manliness. Not the manliness Yahusha wants, but they want a woman to change. And you can see how many women want to become men. Men want to become women. It's ridiculous. You can see Yahusha's plan, his plan in this day and age. You can see his life. There's not much time, guys, so get it together and please listen and understand. He will give you the deliverance if you are in his economy. Thank you for listening. Women, get this together. You can get free of this deep-seated hurt and upsetment in your hearts. by giving in to your husbands, by letting them have it, understanding and being loving. Thank you for listening, and I hope this helps. Bye.